For real? Yeah. My God. Ron told me that we're doing this. Hi, everybody. We're about to get underway with the Monday M.A.S.S, an action sports podcast about nothing and everything all at once. It's everything, everywhere, and nothing at all at once.
It's a decent podcast.
It's barely. Okay.
We got our yellow hats on, so why
right.
not?
Let's start for real.
I'm seriously starting.
Let's synchronize our watches.
I'm double starting. Double start. Hey, this is the Monday M.A.S.S, the world's greatest action sports podcast.
And we're
it's
just
March 14th.
Two regular guys wearing yellow beanies at the same time.
And
mine is significantly more yellower.
I think yours is a better size.
Really?
Mine's kind of tall.
Why don't you just run it? That's kind of the hype shit, dude. To run it kind of up.
So I noticed that
the resi tip.
I noticed that Red Gerard has a beanie, and it kind of like it goes really high, but it's like split in the middle.
He kind of has it's like a mountaineering style of beanie.
Right. So we have a new angle for our fans watching on YouTube, friends and fans. It's shitty.
If you guys are wondering why the podcast is shittier, well, it's because we didn't charge the iPad.
Guess what, though? We have been getting some great compliments regarding our audio on YouTube.
That's right.
Even though, what's going on with your mic?
What are you talking about?
Who's on your mic?
That's me.
Okay. Should I make that straight or just go with it?
Are you cool?
I don't care.
We're cool. We got to go. We have guests lined up. So here we go. This is the Monday M.A.S.S. Today is the 14th of March.
We think.
We're fairly certain it's the 14th of March. We are barreling into it.
And Todd and I have matching hippers. You want to see it?
I'm not showing you mine, but Chris got a hipper surf. Oh my God. Here we go. Also, he's wearing beneath underwear, which brings us to our ad block, which by popular demand, Chris is no longer doing.
The beneath undergarments actually are helping comfort this. Todd, I don't want to gloss over this. If I would have been 6 inches that way, we would be in a different place.
That's right.
I would have I would believe a higher pitched voice. I would have taken my private parts off of my body with my fins.
Chris,
so I dodged a bullet there.
That's neither here nor there.
Beneath underwear.
Here we go.
Beneath.
This is the ad block. We were threatening you that we were going to use ChatGPT to do it, but I think ChatGPT would just make it longer and more extended. So I am going to give you the abbreviated one breath ad block. I'm not going to
serve the advertisers. That's the battle we're having here. Is you want to rush through the ad block, and you need to serve the advertisers.
We're serving the advertisers.
They put in their hard-earned money into this show. You need to give them some credit.
We're serving the advertisers.
Okay, I'm gonna try not to say anything, but you start, and when you start blowing it, I'll start saying stuff.
New and improved one breath.
It's not improved.
One breath ad block. Here we go. Pedal electric.
Way too fast.
What are you? I'm trying to. Oh, God, see, I already blew my breath out.
Yeah, you're going too fast.
Well, I got to do one breath.
It's like,
I can't hold my breath that long.
The ad block is the foreplay to the podcast, right? If people don't like it, they can skip right over it. It's the massage before the happy ending, which is the whole podcast.
I think people look at this as like when you pay for a massage, and the therapist spends 10 minutes doing fucking energy work on you.
So
fuck that, dude.
You want to have a conversation with your therapist like,
no,
my husband is being such a jerk.
I prefer it when the therapist doesn't say a damn. They say lie down, and here comes the massage, and you don't hear from them the entire time.
And what is that down there?
Oh my God! All right, here we go.
It's official.
Monday M.A.S.S is brought to you by Pedal Electric at pedal.electric e-bikes. It is springtime, time to get a new e-bike, and if you want one that goes up goes up the hills faster than everybody else, the reason that they do is because Pedal Electric has dual motors, one in the front, one in the back. It's like a motor. That's dual. Bachan's Japanese barbecue sauce at try Bachan's Bachans goes with everything. You can go onto their Instagram at Try Bachans, find a bunch of recipes that you can use Bachans Japanese barbecue sauce and make the people in your neighborhood or in your family think that you're way better at cooking than you really are. Beneath Apparel at BN3TH Apparel. Underwear for the rest of us. Chris has a hipper, so his underwear is now covered in blood.
Got a new shipment coming in for both you and I and some of those people because they're putting in extra to give away to our friends out there.
That's
listening.
called a shipment. Bubs Naturals at Bubs Naturals. Collagen, fingernails, MCT brain oil, all kinds of stuff that you not even concerned with until you're like 28.
That sounds like a professional advertisement.
Right? That's what I'm talking about. Bubs Naturals.
Naturals.
It's where you want to go to get your collagen and all that bullshit. Pannikin Coffee and Tea at Pannikin Coffee and Tea. You know what?
What?
You ever tried coffee? Because that is bussin'. You know what? I can say bussin' because I am a youth.
It's busting.
A guy. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's probably the greatest Instagram skit I've seen in a long time. But anyways, Pannikin Coffee and Tea. Been waking up San Diego since 1969. Nanocraft CBD at Nanocraft CBD. They have THC in their products now. It's probably all you
Not
need
all
to
of them,
know.
though.
Some of them. The stuff that says THC on it.
It's science.
It's science. Fucking science and shit.
If you like science, if you like feeling good, Nanocraft CBD.
Yeah.
That should be. We come up with some pretty good catchphrases.
Yeah, not that bad. At Pure
I'm gonna
Prescriptions.
get my coffee. So.
At Pure Prescriptions, we are now switching over from Pure Prescriptions to New Greens. It's
Said
this.
that last week.
I'm saying it again. It's part of the ad block now. Ding dong. New Greens is reformulated and coming to you. It is the greatest tasty liquid salad you can ever have.
Liquid salad.
Yeah, but I mean that sounds gross. But the way that it's formulated, you can have it in berry flavored or mint flavored or whatever.
Can I
But
get injected
it
into-
has
into
all
my-
the fun and excitement of a salad, but you can drink it. My God, unselling.
Remember that one. All the fun and excitement of a salad that you can drink.
Hansen Surfboards at Hansen Surfboards. It's springtime. You need a new wetsuit. You may be ditching that 4.3 pretty soon for a 3.2, or maybe getting yourself some nice trunks or a bikini because it's spring break.
I'm done with wetsuits.
So head on down to Hansen Surfboards. Oh, go to Hansen Surfboards
I'm only going
online.
to surf in the tropics from now on.
That's right. At diecutstickers.com. Diecutstickers.com. They've made us our stickers. I have these. You can get these. They're a sticker that goes under a stop sign in your neighborhood. It says stop saying Frontside Indy. If you're still saying Frontside Indy, get with the program. And then we have our friends.
I don't know who actually manufactured these stickers, but Trent Stevens and the Monday M.A.S.S have now we've done a sticker trade.
Is this
I saw these stickers online.
Is this a collaboration?
No, this is just
Could be.
he made stickers that we think
Let's
are
go
funny,
through them.
and so we traded. There's one.
God's gift to surfing.
God's gift to surfing.
Here's another bumper sticker. It says, "Stop surfing, go to therapy."
I'm doing this today.
Okay, and here's another one. This is my favorite. I'm not the reason you're not getting waves.
Is it backwards?
Yeah, but that's because of the the way light
When they see it,
refracts off
when they see
prism.
it, are they reading
Okay,
it?
let's keep going. This one says local transplants.
That's a great one.
These are great stickers. Bumper stickers are super fun.
That's
You can
Todd.
you can put them on your car.
And look, Trent, I'm sending you some money.
We're sending you Money M.A.S.S stickers, and also Mountain High
He
at
had no idea about it.
Mountain MT High Snow. We went there last week. We had a blast. There was a ton of snow in the local mountains. It's unbelievable how low the snow goes.
And that was super fun because we left here at like 7:45.
2 hours, dude. We
and
went
we
the
got
wrong.
home-
We went the wrong way on the way there.
We got home at 3:30 though.
Yeah, it was.
We
awesome.
snowboarded. We had a great time, and we got back to our house at 3:30 in the afternoon. Where else in the world can you do that?
Freaking nowhere. Okay, here's Chris's new segment. It's called Two Nice Things I Saw Last Week.
All right.
He loves this shit.
Here's a nice thing I saw last week. I saw my son do a super long wheelie on his little e-bike pit bike,
Sick.
and it was nice and clean. It was a beautiful super long wheelie. And then today, when I almost chopped my private parts off with my fins, I was delighted when I pulled my wetsuit down and looked, and there was no need for stitches, no need to go to the doctor, just
You know
a
what's-
big old scrape.
You know what's weird? piggybacking on top of what you just said there. You know when you get hit by your board and the wetsuit's not cut, but somehow you're cut under the wetsuit.
That's what happened to me.
That shit is weird, dude. That's like Hogwarts.
Dude, that happened to me one time at Ponto, a local legendary surfer, a guy named Joel Racine, coming down the line. I got in the way. He tried to dodge me, but his board hit me. No hole in the wetsuit. Pulled my wetsuit down. The thing just like opened up and started gushing blood.
That's so weird. But it's like, you know.
But I didn't see that this morning, so that was a nice thing I saw last week. What about you?
Nothing, and I don't like the segment.
Nothing
You're
nice.
Like forcing me to like find nice things.
No, I'm just trying to come up with a couple different segments.
Really?
I'm gonna
How
try
about
to get this one sponsored.
What if we do like another ad block?
Nice things we saw last week, brought to you by.
Depends. Hey, listen, we're gonna go right into the snowboarding segment because I have a special guest this week. I'm going to an event next weekend on the East Coast. If you're listening from the East Coast, please go to Stratton to the Homesick event that's happening there next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I believe that's like the weekend of the 23rd. It's going to be really fun. I hope the weather's going to be really nice.
Homesick meaning?
Homesick, like we're returning back to where it all began for a lot of us East Coasters.
Is that why I wasn't invited? Because I never lived over there?
Yeah, because also.
And also you saw me snowboarding at Mountain High. You probably got
I tried to get away from you. You took 2 runs and then had 3 chili bread bowls.
That was 3 runs.
So snowboard news is brought to you by Bachan's Japanese barbecue sauce. Have some. It's you won't regret it.
Honestly, put some in your
boots
jacket, and then you can pull it out, and that chili bread bowl would actually probably been good.
So I'm gonna make the call right now. We're calling up
make the call.
A special guest. His name is Gary Land. He's a legendary East Coast photographer who kind of went on to do crazy things. And there he is. Hi, Gary Land. You are live on the Monday M.A.S.S on a Tuesday. How are you, buddy?
What's up, guys? How are you?
We're doing great.
Awesome.
So we're just getting into our snowboard news, and I was kind of prefacing this whole thing with Homesick. I would like, you are one of the founders of this. I'd like you, in your own words, to tell our listeners and viewers what Homesick is.
Oh, man. Homesick is a gathering, man. It's, I call it Homesick because I am homesick. I miss the community. I miss being, at Stratton all those years ago, over 2.5 decades ago, being able to hang out with my friends and snowboard and, when things were simple. And that's why I dubbed it. It's an event that History Archives is putting on. It's just for everybody to come and hang out and see things the way they used to be. It's funny, as I was just on the phone with Barry, and it's just gotten to be this giant monster because we want to do so much, but it's a give back, man. It's a high school reunion. It's just a big hug to the community and to all our friends that we used to hang out with, and hopefully we can kind of merge those two worlds of snowboarders that are riding now and snowboarders of yesteryear, and that's kind of what it's all about.
And yeah, it's awesome. And I think, just to give the listeners a little background on it, like a lot of us grew up snowboarding on the East Coast, and Stratton was our mecca. That was where we all gathered for either the U.S. Open or for a long time the best half pipe on the East Coast. And it was the birthplace of, where Jeff Brushy honed his skills, where the first time we ever saw Terrier in the United States from Jason Ford, Noah Brandon, legendary photographers like yourself and Trevor Graves, and all the way up and through until the half pipe and ultimately the U.S. Open moved out of Vermont. It really was a big focal point, like snowboarding's Woodstock. That really
not 99 though.
Not Woodstock 99, but it doesn't exist anymore. We're in a stage of snowboarding now where we have these kind of marquee events that are like really commercialized, and they're not what they used to be. And this, I feel like, is a step in the right direction, as in not forgetting where we came from and
return to soul.
Yeah. And we have this mini pipe, and Ross Power's mini pipe, and Zeb Powell's going to have a rail jam, and the downhill, dude. Let's talk about the downhill at Stratton. We haven't heard of anyone having a downhill event in a very long time.
And it was tough, too, because people were like, aren't you going to have a bank slalom? And I was like, you know what, man, I love bank slaloms, but everyone's got a bank slalom. I was like, since this is a retro event, event and I'm paying homage to, you know, the late 80s and 90s. Like, let's do a freaking, you know, two, you know, head-to-head course where there's like a couple of step downs and gates, and it's the whole, you know, Suntanner, you know, slope where it used to be. I think that's what's so fun about it is like, yeah, it's just, you know, it's paying homage, but it's still a hell of a lot of fun.
I mean, it's crazy, and just also to give the listeners a little heads up on you. So you came up on the East Coast as a photographer, and then you kind of like as I don't know, I guess like you kind of had to like find something else because the snowboard scene in the East Coast was kind of dying, and you found yourself into
Like a
what?
job?
Like what? Yeah, what was your
job?
what? You had a pretty fucking awesome job. You may still have that job. What is that awesome job?
Oh God, it's been, you know, I've gone back, you know, I've changed quite a bit. So basically I left, you know, the snowboarding scene. I lived at Stratton for years and shot, you know, snowboarding was kind of my life. And then I was, you know, I was having a baby. Like my girlfriend was pregnant, and I'm like, okay, definitely not going to be able to support a family on, you know, hoping to get a cover or a page in a magazine. So, you know, I kind of left that scene and moved to Boston and put myself out in the world of trying to be a photographer, and ended up, you know, landing in a few different positions that were more on the backside of photography, like working at, you know, managing archives and things like that at different companies. And I ended up, you know, going to work for Generic Snowboards, and then from Generics to Salomon as a photographer. And then from Salomon, I landed a job at Reebok. And, you know, my job was to manage their database of imagery that I could make, you know, available to the international markets. And this was pre-digital. So I kind of, you know, I wanted to be a photographer, but it took me a couple years to kind of, you know, get in that scene. And I ended up becoming Allen Iverson's photographer, and that just opened up the doors for, you know, them to give me all sorts of assignments. So for 8 years, I was Reebok's like primary photographer, shooting everybody from, you know, Allen Iverson to 50 Cent to, you know, I mean, God, you name it, really. So, and then I left in 2007 and started my own thing, and we continually growing, and here I am. You know, next week I got the event, and my company is moving from a 6,000 square foot facility into this 27,000 square foot facility that we're building. So it's like I got a lot going on right now, but it's so much fun, and this is my passion project. I can't imagine doing anything else other than putting this event together and seeing old friends.
Yeah, and I think that's really cool too. Is like, you know, you may move on into these great and huge things that are like, you know, like most people would be completely blown away with just the clientele that you've stuck a lens in their face, but like the whole backbone of all of that is this little resort in southern Vermont. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what I think is so special about this Homesick event, and why I like when you brought this up to me. Like, you also curated this book, the East Street Archives, which is amazing. If anyone out there has a chance to get, can they still get that on your website? Like, where?
Absolutely, they can get it at, you know, eaststreetarchives.com, or they can pick it up even on the Instagram account, which is just at East Street Archives.
And it's basically a history, like a throwback in history through coming up on the East Coast snowboarding, the who's who, the legends, like all this crazy stuff. Dude, the book is magic, and it's one of those books that you look through, and for myself, it's like a walk down. It's a yearbook. It really is a yearbook, and Homesick is the class reunion. And it's really special. And I'm so stoked that you and Barry Dugan, former Burton TM and marketing guy, have come together to put this thing out there for all of us to partake in. And I hope that we don't get thrown out of Stratton.
If I was invited, how would, when, and how?
I'm super, you know, humbled. You know, obviously, you know, the fact that you're gonna come. There's so many things you could be doing, and you know, there's people flying in from all sorts of places just because they believe. You know, they were there. They witnessed, you know, that time. And honestly, people are homesick, just like, you know, I said. It's like, man, I want to go back. And, you know, we're putting the pipe in the place that, you know, the last time it was there was, you know, 1996 or 1997. We're doing these things, and Stratton has been a great host. They're allowing us to do these things, and they're really excited about it, and they want to give back to snowboarding just as much as, you know, we want to experience it again. So I feel like this is a great step in the right direction, and we're really looking forward to it. And it's like I know that those 3 days are going to be insane. I'm not going to be able to walk 10 feet without seeing somebody I know.
Yeah.
And just reminiscing about those times, and and have you back there is just huge. Jeff Brushy, Noah Brandon, Jason Ford, like Stevie Hayes, like Mark Heingartner.
Wow.
I mean, Paul Graves and Steve Hayes are both kind of like gonna help out at the OG downhill race. So, man, it's crazy. It's just there's some other people that I've been talking to, like Terrier and stuff, and he kind of told me that he wasn't going to be able to make it, but he's super bummed out about it. But there's other people that are coming, and I'm not allowed to mention them right now. But
Okay. I like this.
Stay tuned to E Street Archives Instagram account. You'll see in the next few days who else is going to be showing up.
Well, I'm super stoked. Chris, you had a question. What were you saying?
I want the details. When, where, how do we get there? All ages. Give me just the basic details of this weekend.
Yeah, basic details this weekend. So we've got, 24th, 5th, and 6th. 24th is Friday. That will be the OG downhill. And the 25th is the actual Ross Powers Retro Pipe, and 26th would be the Zebulon Rail Jam. There's like categories. You got, men and women, over 40 divisions. Then there's the men and women 18 to 39, and then a men and women 17 and under. So there's 3 divisions in each one of those categories. I'm sorry, in each one of those events. Lots of great prizes and money. We're doing the best we can. Obviously, we got a lot of sponsors, but a lot of those are in-kind donations and not real big money sponsors. So it's weird because I'm getting people going, man, that's a lot of money for this registration and this and that. I'm like, dude, we're doing the best we can. I mean, we're going to be sure enough in the hole a negative on this event. But you know what? I don't care. Look, dude, I do shit like this all the time with other things, and this means so much to me. This is therapy for me, as much as I hope it is for everybody else when they get out there, because people are coming. They're not coming for the event. They're coming to see their old friends.
Right.
And that's what it's all about to me. It's community building, and I want to get people on snowboards that haven't been on snowboards in decades, and hopefully we can do that, and we can kind of right the ship in snowboarding and get back to kind of some of its missing, grassroots. I feel that are due to resurface again and kind of have this resurgence.
Well, I think it couldn't come at a better time. I mean, I'd said it a couple months back after the passing of Ken Block, how I don't want to get together for funerals and weddings. And I want to have events like this where we see each other and we tell each other we miss each other, and we really cherish the time that we have together. And this is going to be one of those events, dude. And I feel like it's the beginning of a new dawn of events on the East Coast as well, because it's been too long, man. It's been too long. The East Coast has been ignored for way too long on the event side of things, and it's time to like you said, to right that ship.
Awesome.
All right, Gary, thank you so much. I will see you next Thursday. That's when I'm plopping in.
Thanks
so
guys. Thanks again, guys. I really appreciate it. Thanks for having me on, and appreciate it.
No
Looking
worries.
forward to next week.
All right, man. We'll have some beers.
All right.
We'll see you later.
Thanks, brother.
Bye.
What's the Instagram account that we go to for more
At
information?
East Street Archives.
East
Street Archives. East, as in like that way.
Okay, so what is this event?
Okay. Oh my God, you're such a dick.
That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah,
I'm really happy.
It's gonna be really fun, and I feel like
I've never been to Stratton.
Well,
I'm just now hearing about this.
It's not for the light of heart, Chris. I'll tell you that much. The East
is
Coast,
it further than Mountain High. From
yeah,
here?
it's a little bit further east than the Mountain High. It's it's like
It's not higher.
It's not higher. It's
further.
And it's East Coast, dude. So you don't know what the weather's going to be. The weather could be snowing in the morning, raining in the afternoon, or it could be sunny and 50 degrees. It's just but we're really, I feel, I'm going to echo what Gary said. We're going there to see each other. It's not really like the snowboarding. Like no one's going there to like put a fucking hurting on the half pipe.
I won't. That's why I'm not going, because I only go places where I can win a medal.
Okay. Well,
yeah,
that was awesome, Gary. Thank
that's cool.
you.
So what is the downhill? Downhill, that's like
downhill is like barely any turning,
and it's just
fast as fuck. And there,
I mean, do that. What events are you doing?
I'm gonna do all of them.
No.
Well, I won't be doing the Zebulon Rail Jam because I don't want to feel the steel between my butt cheeks. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe you don't need a one cheek sneak on that.
But Gary really downplaying his accolades these days.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy is like within the mainstream sports / I guess hip hop scene.
Mhm.
Gary's massive,
Yeah.
massive photographer.
Casually just hanging out with Allie Iverson.
So, yeah,
Yeah, that's
you know,
awesome.
it's like his day rate's like 30,000 a day. Like it's
What did you pay him for that interview just now?
that's pro bono.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. Well, that was great.
That was
and
cool,
I
right?
think that events like that definitely deserve that kind of coverage on this podcast.
Yeah, and
at least.
I feel like
At
I'm
least.
I'm an old head, and this is a gathering of old heads. So if you don't want to get a bunch of dust on you, maybe don't go. But if
It's like a gathering of old juggalos without the face paint and with snowboard boots.
yes,
I'm raining.
oh, anyway, okay, so
Can I call him my? Oh, this is another snowboard.
okay, here, why don't you call your son back on the iPad? That's odd.
Can I do that?
Here we go. NASCAR superstar Chase Elliot has
What's your reaction to that?
had successful surgery for an unspecified injury to his left leg on Friday night,
Is that bad?
hours after a snowboarding accident in Colorado, and he will miss this weekend's NASCAR race in Las Vegas. Elliott is a second-generation driver and the son of NASCAR Hall of Famer Bill Elliott. The Georgia native is NASCAR's 5-time fan-voted most popular driver. So obviously he got hurt snowboarding. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Do you think he's gonna get in trouble for that?
I don't know. I think sometimes people have like these clauses where like you're not supposed to go out there and do these other events.
Hey, we're doing podcasts right now,
this is
Todd and I.
this is how professional we are.
Do you have any questions regarding snowboarding?
That would be
Ooh.
today. That'd be today, London.
Look
today.
outside. It's raining in
Yeah.
Encinitas. That means it might be powdering in the mountains.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. There you go.
I was just like riding home and I got soaking wet.
Oh man, I'm so sorry. I'm not sorry. It builds character. All right. Well, we're gonna finish this podcast. I'll be home soon.
Alright, you got pie?
Yeah.
Alright, sounds good.
All right.
Peace out.
Peace out.
There we go.
That was
That's
that was
London Coté checking in from house. He's making sure we're about safety
that was
here.
that was an organic
Yeah.
conversation between father and son.
Did you guys like that? Do you guys feel like Chris is a good father? Hit us in the comments below. All right, so
I didn't have anything to add. to
moving
that.
on to the NASCAR news.
Sir-
People get in trouble for that kind of stuff. If you're, I mean,
I know,
there
yeah,
used to be clauses in some people's snowboard contracts that you couldn't get hurt skateboarding.
That is ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
That's ridiculous. I just there's a professional football player, Raheem Mostert, played for the 49ers, and I think he's on the whatever other team named after an animal, but
Mhm.
he got busted for surfing. He was a big time surfer, and so he stopped surfing and he started doing his celebration in the end zone about surfing. Speaking of surfing, surf news is brought to you by. Do you have any other snow news?
Not good.
There's gonna be snow.
It's powing.
Surf news is brought to you by Hansen Surfboards. Big news, breaking news. This just happened about an hour ago.
Local.
I cut my. Caity Simmers and Joao Chianca have won the Portugal event in pumping ass waves.
It was
Giant waves.
It was solid. And I saw this interview with Kelly Slater. Kelly Slater said it was scary out there.
Yeah.
Quote unquote, it was scary out there.
It was so Super Tubos. I've been there a couple times, and even on a head high day, it's punchy. It will kick your ass. So when it's double, triple overhead, I mean that just adds, I think, to the the illustrious accolades.
Wow, I feel like you're just putting words,
It
stringing
adds
words together.
to
now.
the what's the word I'm thinking of? It adds to the prestige.
Prestige. There you go.
It adds to the prestige of winning that event.
Prestige
And
worldwide.
Caity Simmers
Worldwide.
coming through it as a rookie, living up to all the expectations and more. She took out Courtney Conlog, which was a great final.
I can't believe the comp is over. I honestly didn't watch a lick of it.
Well, I think the problem with this one for people in California is that it basically started around like 2 a.m. And so by the time we're waking up and getting into it, it's the tail end of the day. But the highlights are going to be great. Joao Chianca going up against Jack Robinson in the finals. An insane battle. Jack Robinson still holds the yellow jersey, and he's got a nice lead. Molly Picklum has grabbed the yellow jersey from Carissa Moore. Caity Simmers moves up 7 spots to number 3 in the world. So the next WSL CT event is Bells, April 4th.
Wow, that's coming right up too.
And a lot of people on the championship tour, men and women, are stressing because the cut is coming up as well. The cut will happen at the end of April. And Stab had a great report on who's in danger. And some of these names will shock you. We're talking about Slater needs to get a 5th or a 9th.
Well, what's up with this Slater talking about retiring?
I kind of put that out of order.
Okay.
So just a quick update on the cut. Margaret River and Bells are going to be 2 important events. You've got guys like Kalohe and Dino. This one's shocking to me. Kanoa Igarashi in danger of being cut. They both need big results in West Oz and Bells. Slater's in that conversation. Steph Gilmore as well. And in other Slater news, he did an interview where I believe he kind of just not misspoke, but it was taken maybe out of context. He said, "I'm done for the year. I might be done forever in Portugal." Meaning, maybe not that maybe he's retiring at the end of the year, but he probably won't be competing in Portugal. And I think he was also kind of just pissed because his heat had not great waves.
So who do you think is in danger of just like hanging it up after this?
Slater.
Like if they don't make the cut, they're just like, I'm freaking done.
I mean, I would say Kalohe, but he's still young. He's still, like he is a veteran, obviously, but he got on the tour when he was like 18 or 19. Right. So he's just one of those guys that is such an amazing surfer, but hasn't been able to crack past the semis or second place. So he would now be in that conversation of the best surfer to never win an event. But I think he's got an event win in him somewhere, I hope. Slater is now probably stressing a little bit, saying, because he has said before, if I make the Olympics, I'll retire at the Olympics. But
he may not make it.
For him to make the Olympics, he's got to basically be one of the highest placing Americans. He's got to go compete in the ISA events either in El Salvador or Puerto Rico, which was just announced. So if I'm Slater right now, if I really want to make the Olympics, I am looking at potentially switching flags. He is of Syrian descent, so he could go. I imagine he could maybe surf for Syria. I don't really know how the particulars of that work, but I could see Slater doing really well in the ISA events. So if you win, let's say you make the finals of the ISA, you're probably going to make the Olympics.
Interesting.
There's 3 spots for Americans, 3 spots for American men, 3 spots for American women. But if he goes and switches to Syria, I don't know. That'd be strange.
Maybe Assad will throw him a bone.
A couple sponsor changes. Your team,
Quicksilver's got there's some shakeups.
Couple cuts. Leonardo Fioravanti now rides for a company called K-Way.
I don't believe these were so much as cuts as in
drops.
No.
Layoffs.
It's more like these surfers have decided to pursue different avenues.
I bet K-Way is paying Leonardo Fioravanti
what is K-Way? Is it like Kmart?
K-Way, I think it's like a European. I think they're famous for their rain jackets and windbreakers.
So like Kmart.
It's like a K-Way. Zeke Lau now rides for a Hawaiian company called Ava, started by Keikoa Casimiro. I remember Keikoa having those stickers on the nose of his board. Ava is a growing brand focused on protecting the landscapes and ecosystems that inspired it. So pretty rad.
Not
Hawaiian
to be confused
operated.
with what all of us as little kids thought the Alva logo said.
Awa. This is Ava.
Hey,
feel free to slap Todd next time.
Speaking of Hawaii,
this
new standing wave that they have in Waikiki looks incredibly fun. I've seen a lot of footage of Shane Beshin and his kids, absolutely, and Kai Lenny.
Kai Lenny did a 360 boneless into it.
Just like it's probably the best looking stationary wave I've seen. It's really wide,
Deep water.
and there's like 2 sections on either side that you can kind of pop into like
Yeah.
foam and kind of do airs.
And you can make a middle section.
You can?
They can. So that wave that they have is a deep water standing wave, meaning you can ride any board with fins.
So when
whatever.
you say deep water, like it's like 2 feet deep?
So you have, yeah, it's about like 1 or 2 feet deep. It's deep enough to where you could ride a thruster quad.
Put
whatever.
a board on rail
Yeah.
and you won't hit the bottom.
And that it's expandable. They can break it up into 2 different waves. They can make a section in the middle, section on the sides.
How about a channel?
You're not going to need a channel because you can just stand on the other side.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
To jump,
what if you wanted to jump at like Gons in the old Hawaiian
maybe
comp?
I don't know. But Shane Bastian has been part of this project for a long time, and that is a wave that is more, I think, more economically viable for a lot of places.
Yeah.
Also, you don't need as much space or as much water. I don't know. To me, it's just another branch on the tree.
It looks like you could get way more reps, and like it would be easier to teach someone
Oh, leg burners.
how to
for
actually
sure.
surf.
Leg burners.
I think
well,
it's pretty cool.
You should hit up Shane. Let's
did.
get a session.
I did.
We should do a podcast from the deck.
Okay. What if you went to
Uh,
Hawaii and didn't even go in the ocean and you just surfed that thing? And,
It's
like, came home?
basically you're driving to the North Shore, and before you get to Haleiwa and Wahiawa, you just turn left.
Oh, really? So it's all the way over there?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, it's not on the North Shore. It's over by, I think, the Disney.
Before you go up and over the hill.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, Pearl Harbor, the Japanese planes went in to this low. There's a low kind of canyon. They went in there to get to Pearl Harbor, and you drive across that canyon when you go over there.
Interesting.
Yeah. History.
Mhm.
This is shocking, sad news. Says we need to do more. There was 2 boats coming in near Black's Beach. 2 boats coming in near Black's Beach. They crashed into each other. It was middle of the night. The waves hit. They were both somewhere between 8 and 15 people. Anyway, it was one of the worst oceanic trafficking disasters ever. And this just happens all the time. And you have to put yourself, you have to have some empathy, because these people are literally knowingly risking their lives. You can imagine coming in the pitch black from the open ocean
Into Blacks.
into Blacks, into anywhere around here.
Blacks
you hear the waves
especially, like,
breaking.
I just wonder if they, you think about these people that are doing, you pay your life savings to get smuggled across the border. I mean, I'm not even getting into the politics of this whole thing, but
Yeah.
just strictly for the craziness of, you probably don't know how to swim. You
Right.
get into this boat with your kids and your 6 belongings, whatever you have, because you can't really bring too much in these pungas. And then you find yourself coming in to Blacks, where like canyon sets are no joke there, even on small days.
Yeah, it's really sad. It's tragic.
So between 8 and 15 people died, correct?
Yes.
And that was just, I mean,
Multiple bodies.
There was another boat that came in that same day here in Encinitas
Right. It
at
happens all the
Grandview.
time.
So it's like,
This is those dipshits that think building a wall is going to do anything. You need to
Yeah.
build centers for people to come over and figure it out. I don't know. I don't have the answers. This is fucked.
build a floating wall.
Yeah, just keep building a wall. That's going to help. In much happier news, skate news brought to you by Beneath Apparel. So this is a cool little story. A group of teenage girls in Ethiopia were getting bullied at the skate park.
Okay.
Their boards were getting taken. Just these dickhead kids were harassing these girls that were trying to get into skateboarding. They formed a crew. It's called Set Skateboarding, an all-female group, which skate on the street of Ethiopia and in the parks. And they were recognized by Olympic Channel as being game changers. So I just thought that was amazing.
I mean-
These girls just banded together like, nope, we're skating.
Well, you think about, like, there's definitely countries on this planet, especially, some that have some crazy religious views. I mean, that's my opinion, that women shouldn't be doing anything, any activities, and like they want to skateboard. You're literally putting your life at risk. I mean, people are getting killed for trying to get an education. Like, never mind like doing
Right.
this activity. Like skate or die, in its most literal sense.
Yeah, that's why I think Set Skateboarding, Skatistan, these groups that form, it's strength in numbers. So I loved to read that, and I'm gonna try to do more to follow up on that particular story. I just think it's very cool. Meanwhile,
Mm-hmm.
you know how I feel about infants doing action sports. I don't like it.
You don't like it.
I don't like it. It's stupid. So
Well, okay.
this was in the
What's an
news.
infant?
Okay.
Like, what is an infant to you?
Okay. This is about a 19-month-old.
19 months.
Okay. So
You can't even fucking
no,
say
the,
a word.
The dumbest line. Okay. So every Monday or Tuesday, I put skateboarding news into the Google, and I just see what pops up. And
Mhm.
it seems like every week there's another dipshit story about this toddler. So this story, it was about this 19-month-old skater that's doing insane tricks in California. And the quote from the mom, Lennox has been skateboarding since before he could walk. You can't skateboard if you can't walk.
Tell that to the skateboarding cat. Wait,
who is
no, cats can
standing
walk.
on its legs.
I also.
I think it's stupid. I think Lennox is stupid.
I think that whole.
Lennox, you need to quit skating till you're 6.
Oh, don't worry. Mom is gonna completely burn that kid out
Actually,
on skateboarding.
Now that I think about it, if your kid is just learning how to walk, to me the best thing you could do is physically duct tape the kid's feet to the board. I mean, put a helmet on the 19-month-old, but just duct tape the feet, get the GoPro going, and send it. Right? Just send it. 19 months old have like
19
rubber
months old.
bones.
Okay,
They're
like,
not going to get hurt.
That's a year and 3/4.
Send it.
For those of you that are not mathematically inclined, that is like my kids were. You're still squishy. Like you still have like a soft head,
spot on
just
your
soft. Like your whole frontal lobe may be a soft
Exactly.
spot.
What better time to get hardcore than when you have a soft spot? It's,
Like there's some 19
Yeah.
months old that are still nursing.
if you can't walk, you can't skateboard.
If you're still nursing, you probably shouldn't be skateboarding.
And I'm not saying that because it's more of a. There's a lot of great skaters out there that have things that don't allow them to walk,
Mhm.
and they're still skating. So this is not about anything to do with that. This is about babies. I don't think babies should be doing action sports. I'm sorry.
You
Does
don't?
that make me a hater?
What age do you think is appropriate for a child to be doing action sports? When do you think they should be allowed to do that?
5.
5 years old.
Yeah.
That's your cutoff.
Yeah.
Hard line the same.
And at 5, like if you're not going down at least as many stairs as you are old, then you should quit because you
Oh.
suck.
So now we, wow. So there's
No.
not only is there an age, but now we have a.
I don't know. I you know what? And I could be wrong. For those parents out there sending their kids down the mountain, snowboarding and skating and stuff.
Doesn't it kind of
Good
seem
for
like
you. That's
does
your
it,
kid.
Does it seem like sometimes like maybe it's just the parents using this squishy little vessel to live the dreams that they didn't get to
Yeah.
live?
I mean, I definitely think that sending your 4-year-old off a 10 stair is better than letting them go to a drag show where they're reading children's books. So both should be banned.
Wow.
We're getting political here.
We've really gone down the
Wow.
tubes here.
Let the in great skateboarding news.
Jesus Christ.
I'm an ally, Todd. I get upset when I think about this stuff. I'm not an ally for infant skaters. I'm an ally for
I'm not the reason you're not getting
drag
waves.
shows and whatnot.
Okay, what do you have for?
The world is back.
Do you have any better news?
Yes. 2 young Japanese skaters.
How
that are
old?
making a
How
difference.
old?
Teenagers.
Infants?
No, they're teenagers. You know them. Cocona Hiraki and Mami Tezuka.
Okay, what about them?
Owners of 2 of the greatest styles and signature tricks. Cocona is the young Japanese skater that is known to do nose grinds, stand-up nose grinds around 12-foot bowl corners, while Mami Tezuka has, I would say, one of the top 5 Smith grinds in the history of skating.
Wow.
And that's a big call.
That's a bold claim.
But you know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I know who you're talking
Just by the thought of her Smith grind.
Okay.
They have a new video out on YouTube that band's made that's really good. Another video that is insane. Felipe Nunes at it again.
I haven't seen this.
So Felipe
Don't
Nunes
spoil it.
has dropped more footage. I mean, we're talking about like a 5.0 down a 20 stair, complete with some of the most savage beatdowns ever. Kick flipping in and out of ditches, huge Euro gaps. Transworld Skateboarding called it raw, pure, raw, unhinged skateboarding at its finest, and we 100% agree. Felipe Nunes is next level.
You know what else in skateboarding news I think is awesome?
What?
Tom Schaar is freaking back, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Schaar is back putting a hurtin' on the vertin' over at Tony Hawk's ramp over here in Vista.
Yeah.
And I think it doesn't really, I don't know where he went. I don't know if he was hurt. I don't really know the ins and outs of why the vanishing of Tom Schaar over the past
I think it was
since
a mix.
the Olympics.
I think it was a mix of injuries and then just lack of venue. You know, he was obviously a huge star of Vans Park Series, but without without X Games, you know, he'll be back for Dew Tour.
Yep. But anyways, it's really cool to see him and putting up some new footage, and the fact that, I mean, like, he's so comfortable doing shit that is just so insane that he didn't really fall off. And
he's a monster.
And Tony Hawk is back skating again too, which is and he's got his femur is now repaired properly. So I feel like, you know, maybe this
Did you get a little femur grab?
What?
Oh, you didn't physically.
No, I didn't grab his femur.
Will you?
That's a weird place to grab somebody.
It is a weird place.
Grab you by the femur.
Can I, Tony? May I touch your femur? You've got to get consent if you ask that. You can't just go grabbing femurs.
Is that your marrow?
How's your marrow?
Anyways, Mike
Well,
McGill.
If you want to ask Tony Hawk if you grab his femur,
You can go to Mike McGill's grand opening of the new location for McGill's Skate Shop in North County,
it's
Encinitas.
like a block that way.
It's really close. It's next to
You
the
got a
grocery
Lazy
store that
Acres.
I go in way too freaking
You got
much.
a Wendy's in there.
Yeah.
You got
Peabody's. Anyways,
It's awesome.
next weekend, or is it this weekend?
It's this weekend.
It's this
Saturday.
weekend coming up.
Yeah.
We're gonna have the Bones Brigade. We're gonna have the Grant Britain
Kevin
Brigade.
Staub,
We're gonna have everybody. Is gonna be in there. If you want to go
Tony
and
Hawk's femur.
get your picture taken with Tony Hawk's femur, you can go there to McGill's
You can
on
imagine that
Saturday,
picture?
just next
Like
to his
his
femur.
femur's right here, and you're like,
I don't want a picture of you. I just want to take a picture with
can
your
you stand
femur.
up straight? I got to see this femur. That's going to be super fun. And congratulations to McGill's. That's one of the longest running, or the longest running skate shop in town for sure. Talking decades. And the new shop looks nice.
It's pretty cool.
Also, shout out Justin Bishop. He is a fan
Mhm.
and friend of the show. He's been on a comeback path after a couple brutal injuries and starting to see things coming back. And we're always stoked to see Justin Bishop skating again.
Yeah.
We already did snow news.
We did snow news already.
Did
so
we do surf news? Oh,
yeah, we did all this.
Oh,
We're gonna
so
go
great.
into nerd news. Is brought to you by New Greens. New
Yeah.
Greens, freaking.
Say the salad line again.
What was it? It's all the fun and excitement of a salad that you can drink.
It's a salad in liquid form, but tastes good.
But it's good.
Do you think if you put ranch dressing in your new greens, would it?
But
And
it's
some chicken.
what if your logo is? But it's good.
It's good. Question mark. It's good, but it's like, what do they call that?
New
Italics.
Greens, make your body happy. Have some New Greens. Tastes great.
And we all now
Doesn't
are gonna be
taste like
looking
a
for
salad.
something to do.
It has all the fun and excitement of a salad, but yet tastes great.
It tastes like a
If you don't like salad,
good greens. That's it for The Last of Us, huh?
Last
It's
of Us.
just ended.
Last of Us is over.
I don't know how to think about it.
Spoilers, don't listen if you haven't watched the rest of Last of Us, but you know that this podcast is partially brought to you by the Last of Us
HBO.
fan club.
Thanks HBO.
What
for
did you
supporting the
think
Monday M.A.S.S.
of the finale? Not knowing what was going to happen, what did you think of the finale?
I
Were you sad?
was shocked.
You were shocked.
I was shocked.
Were you shocked by the way it ended?
I was shocked by the way it ended, but I'm also kind of glad with how it ended. It was a pretty depressing episode because I think the acting is so amazing that they're literally telling this story. I think she knew what was going to happen to her when she got to the end. That's why she was acting weird. They were going to try to kill her.
Also, maybe
They wanted to
also
take
that
her
maybe she
brain.
hatcheted it to do it in the face for like 15 minutes.
That
the
didn't
day
help
before.
her mental health.
No, that probably didn't help.
It was it was brutal, but it really did. Now it leaves a whole new world,
Well, kind of leaves a whole new world. The world has already been created.
a whole old world.
So, I mean, like the first time I played, so the game came out in like 2013 or whatever.
Why do they keep going to the snow? By the way, is it snow like?
Because
is
they're
harder?
in the Rockies.
But I'm saying, is it harder for the cordyceps to live in the snow?
No, they're just away from metropolitan areas.
I know, but I don't know why anybody would want to live in Colorado.
This is your big hiccup with the show.
I don't know why anybody would want to live in the snow. It's too cold.
So when I
Why
played
can't
through
they go to Hawaii?
when I played through the game the first time, and it ended it was very, very
Abrupt?
almost scene for scene and word for word what happened during The Last of Us, the last episode.
Okay.
So when it just goes like, what are you doing?
Go ahead.
Are you playing The Last of Us theme?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. When she goes to Joel,
Is that distracting?
swear to me that everything you said was true about the fireflies. And he goes, I swear. And she goes, okay. And then it fades to black. Like, I remember, like, the game, and then all of a sudden the credits roll, and I was just sitting there.
They said that in the game too?
Yeah, it was exactly.
All
And the credits rolled, and I was just sitting there staring at my TV, like, what the
What
fuck?
the frick?
And, like, you want to talk to somebody about it, but this was so
You could have called me.
this was so before, like, if I called you and was like, dude, I just played this video game and it kind of rattled me. Like, you would like be like, you're an idiot,
So,
because I know you play Fortnite.
hypothetically speaking, cell phones would still work
When?
in The Last of Us
Why?
because you have power, the satellites.
Maybe. What are you saying?
I'm just saying, if they had cell phones,
Well, the
they
grid-
could have alleviated a lot of.
Maybe the grid.
these
The
issues.
grid could have gone. I don't know.
Well, they have lights.
But okay, so The Last of Us is over. So
There's
now
no computers in it.
they're
either.
not going to replace, because there was a big controversy on whether or not they were going to replace Bella Ramsey going into
They can't.
Last of Us Part 2, which we just found out that Last of Us Part 2 will be broken into multiple seasons because I feel like they have to.
Right.
But there's a pretty significant time jump between the end of the first game and the beginning of the second game. So she's
They can fix that.
14 in the first game and 19 in the next game. So
They can fix that.
it'll be a couple years. Bella Ramsey is 18, so she'll be like 21 when this comes out. And
That's fine.
But there's so much that I want to like tell you about what the setup is for the next game. But
Maybe I should just play the game.
you should. I will.
Is it on PlayStation?
Yeah, I have. Do you have a PlayStation?
I have PlayStation 4.
Yeah, I have the game.
Can I borrow it?
Yes.
God. We could have done this a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
The Oscars happened.
Who?
You don't generally care about them, but it's pretty cool that Everything Everywhere All at Once basically swept the Oscars.
Okay, I saw that movie.
Yeah.
Did you like it? Or do
you
you
kind of have to like it.
I didn't. I mean, I thought it was like interesting, but I kind of feel like, and I think this is a fairly common consensus, is that like the
Is it too
movies that
much?
the movies that win every Oscar for the most part are like, it's not really about the movie. It's kind of about like
The spectacle.
the like what they accomplished, like who the stars were, like did it break boundaries? Is it like blah blah blah?
I think it deserved all those awards because it was just pure insanity from beginning to end. Was it my favorite movie of the year? No. Did I love the cast? Did I love the visuals?
Mhm.
Yes. It almost like it beat you over the head a little bit with just like so much action, which was amazing. I can't believe that humans can make visuals like that. The only other Oscar movies that I watched Fablemans. I watched.
Did you see
half-
Avatar?
No,
Did you see the All Is Quiet on the Western Front or whatever that movie was?
Some of it. That one's so brutal.
It's depressing, right?
It's like to me, I think a lot of like the reason I watch movies is escapism, and while I love war movies, that one just like. Oh,
when was
God,
the
it was
last time you
brutal.
went to the movies?
It's been a minute.
I know my last movie was in 2019. I saw
2019.
it was the last Star Wars movie. That was the last time I went to the no, it was the last time I went to the movies was in 2019.
Honestly, I think I went
the
and saw,
theater.
like, Minions or something with my kids, but I know it was in like 2020.
It's so
Because
it's
somebody coughed in the
it's
theater. When we
sad.
left.
It's sad, dude. Like I want to return to the movies.
Go ahead.
But I'm
They're
saying like
open.
the only way to get me and I think to get a lot of people to return to the movies is to stop dropping it simultaneously on streaming.
I know, because to get me off my couch, it takes a lot.
It does.
Oh, Brandon Fraser won for The Whale.
Yep, that was
which
great.
I did not see because it looks really depressing.
Mm-hmm.
Ka Hui Kwan won Best Supporting Actor. You might know him as
Short Round or
That's
Data.
right, Short Round and Data.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a moment, I think this was probably the feel-good moment of the year, was when Harrison Ford, who acted with Short Round,
Mm-hmm.
they had a moment. Amazing. So cool. This is a movie that can get you back to the theaters, Todd. You ready? People don't like that.
They love
That's
it.
too long.
It's
The new John Wick. John Wick 4
I
is supposed to be
I'm
the
a
greatest
mega
ever.
John Wick fan.
Me too.
I love John Wick.
I didn't know I was going to like it so much.
If there's one movie that needs to be turned into a video game, it's
John Wick.
frickin' John Wick, dude.
Well, John Wick 4 is coming. People are saying it's like the greatest action movie ever. I think that is a movie you should see in the theater, personally.
Okay. I will go.
Speaking of TV, we weren't talking about TV, but Secession is coming out. I know you don't care. I have some good Encinitas Magazine news.
Okay, what is it?
So for the next Encinitas Magazine, I'm writing a tribute to our fallen homie, Otis Bartholomew, a.k.a. O, reached out to a ton of people. The list of contributors for this story: Glenn E. Friedman,
No way.
Rick Froberg,
Ooh, from Pitchfork and Drive Like Jay.
Grant Britton, Dave Swift, Mike Burnett, Thurston Moore, Jay Mascis. I mean, this is... no tribute will be enough to pay the attention to O that needs to be paid, but we're trying, and I'm just very proud of this next issue. It's
I would
coming out in April.
love, I mean, I don't know where these are, but I would love for people to hear the first Fluff albums.
I actually bought the Fluff kind of like greatest hits record on Discord.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Discord.com.
So, but you downloaded
On
it
vinyl.
On vinyl?
Yeah.
Do you think they have? I might go over to the Lou's right now and go get a Fluff
You should.
record
I think
if
you
they
should.
have them.
If check Lou's first. If they don't, they have it on Discord. I bought a 7-inch for my wife, and which is weird because she's used.
All right.
And I brought I bought a vinyl 12-inch. Okay, where are the photos?
We're gonna do some questions.
We've got questions.
I have some too.
You've
I'm
got
gonna go to
questions.
mine.
We've got answers. Austin Wolf says, gravy sandwich, plastic bag in the wind, pit bull in a cage, more pillows than a luxury hotel for the elderly. A grade commentating from Todd. Do you come up with these off the top of your head, or are you making notes during the week when inspiration strikes? I think he's talking about your
natural
commentary,
selection.
natural selection.
I don't know. I just drink a lot of coffee and stuff just kind of comes out. Both ends.
I get it. So you're just a natural genius.
I guess so.
Okay, Double Ejects says, one more question. Or this was a question from Wednesday last. Either way, when will the cinch era of 2023 come to an end? So there's a picture here of a cinched. What is
people cinching their jackets?
Cinching it up?
I think so I don't have a problem. I have a problem with mega cinch because it kind of like if you do an air with your jacket mega cinched, it turns into a crop top.
And
or a
the
tube
reason
tube
these
top.
jackets are longer is because when you sit in the snow,
You don't want it up in your booter.
So this is style
I like
over
I
function.
like a little bit of cinch, but not. I don't like straight. Like I don't like a jacket to be like dangling square. You know what I mean? Like I don't want just like straight down
like
jacket.
you want a little
A little bit of a
mini
little bit of a
cinch.
tuck, mini cinch.
There is I did get a pair of Quicksilver snow pants, and one of the key features that I love is the leg cinch.
Yeah,
so
you
down
can
where
pull up
you
the
pull
cinch
it.
in the back.
Yeah, so yes to leg cinch, not really yes to super cinch. Mid cinch is fine.
Okay.
Wilson.
Mid-century. Wilson.
You recently shared a photo on Twitter of your 3 boards with the same dimensions and all different constructions. How do you use these boards? Like on small, clean days, you ride the epoxy. In windy slop, do you ride the PU? I've heard epoxy is tough for wind chop. Is there a method to the madness? This was kind of something that happened over a year. He's talking about I have 3 Pisalian 2s, one in dark arts, one in traditional PU, and the other in epoxy. They're all the same dimensions, same size and everything. And I think that it just kind of happened because I really like the shape. You know, the epoxy one's fun every once in a while. The dark arts one is definitely the fastest, lightest. The PU one I've ridden a couple times in decent waves, and it's just kind of fun to have them all 3. I don't know if I'm good enough to notice the major differences. I know the dark arts one will have more pop for longer. Brent LaFleur, a.k.a. Becky Bubs, says, it's been killing me to know you and Todd's favorite pizza toppings.
Oh.
Are we skating Thursday? Yes, we're skating on Thursday. My favorite pizza toppings will be, I'm like a meat lovers guy, sausage, pepperoni, ham, some kind of ham, Canadian bacon. But why are you making that face?
I always make this face when we talk about pizza.
You want pizza right now.
I want pizza, but also I'm an East Coast pizza snob. The only way that you can figure out if someone is making a good pizza is you have to have a plain or just a cheese pizza, because that is the way that you figure out the cheese and the sauce and the crust ratio. You start adding all this other bullshit on there like sausage, you can camouflage a shitty sauce crust cheese combo with sausages and pepperonis and all kinds of other shit.
Agree to disagree. I think it's because you're a baby and
Get
your
in line.
palate is not developed enough.
Know your place, Chris. Anyone from the East Coast will 100% agree with me.
Where is this East Coast you keep talking about? Where is that? Mitchell Sells
East of the Mason-Dixon line.
This is a great question. Will the viewership go up for both Olympic skating and surfing in Paris? Yes. I think it was such a success last year in Tokyo that, and you could tell me better, Todd.
Wait, what is the question?
Will the viewership be bigger for skating and surfing in 2024?
Not unless they have someone to cheer for. I feel like, yes, there may be a...
Oh, you mean like the Yuto effect?
Right. There needs to be someone for people to be excited about. I mean, look, I hate to say it, but this next Olympics, even in snowboarding, if there's no Shaun White competing, the average Joe is going to lose a bit of that kind of hype, because NBC was using Shaun so much to push the Olympic hype. With Chloe Kim, we don't know if Chloe Kim's going to compete in snowboarding at the next Olympics. So without Chloe Kim and this dominance...
We got Patty Party.
Yeah, but Patty's going to compete for China.
Good.
But I'm just saying, like, it's like the U.S., in order to bring, a fever to NBC's Olympic broadcast, they need to latch on to someone from the U.S. That's just how it goes. It's like Michaela Schifrin is that in skiing.
But
like,
what about Nyjah, John, Carissa Moore,
sure,
Caity Simmers? I mean, I feel like the field you're going to have for surfing is going to be more interesting than it was last year. The wave, for people who don't maybe,
I can't wait to see that.
For people who don't really know, that is a spectacle in itself. And if Chopo is going off, the numbers are going to go.
But it's going
nuts.
to really be up to the broadcast, the preparation from the broadcast.
Where do you watch the people? That's what people want to know.
The people, yeah, exactly. Where do I watch this? But like the preparation work of the producers to create drama around Chopo.
Well, you don't need to because
No,
that
but you
wave
don't. But you do
creates
for
it.
the average person. Like you need to create like underlying heavy
how about
toned
this?
crazy music and
You
like
could almost
this
die.
wave is deadly. Like
you
if
can
they're
almost
gonna
die on every wave.
right, like that needs to be given
Celebrated.
to the audience because there's not like that's kind of like brings it like how can I relate to this and anything else? Okay, well,
Right.
in the downhill for skiing, these skiers can die on every run.
People love death.
People they
just
do.
love death.
They love
They love
you
cheating death.
to cheat death. And
Yeah.
that's why snowboarding half pipe is so exciting. That's why big air is exciting because people look like they're going to die and they land.
When I think that also the skate park is going to be like right under the Eiffel Tower, so visually it's going to be. I think yes. My answer to the question, yes, the viewership will be bigger for surfing and for skating.
I think it would be really cool if maybe someone was under the Eiffel Tower where the skate park is, selling a small model of the Eiffel Tower with the skate park under it every 10 feet. You know what I
should
mean? Like
go
those
and get your
people-
picture like this on top, and like you're putting your finger on top of the Eiffel
You
Tower.
can't walk 6 feet without being someone trying to sell you a miniature Eiffel Tower
Hash.
under the Eiffel Tower and hash.
Yes, the viewership is going to be bigger. Chad Bonsack wants to know, Kelly possibly retiring. Yeah, we did talk about that in Surf News. I think all signs are pointing to retiring, but let's wait and see what happens at the end of the year. Austin Wolf, we already answered that question. We already answered the cinch question. We answered the board question.
Here's
We answered the
something
pizza
that
question.
this was a question that I have
For me,
for in general. And this is like it's a question I'm probably gonna answer it though. Like, but I keep seeing a lot of pictures coming out of Tahoe and Mammoth and all these places where it continually snows. We've broken the snow record of most snow in a season in multiple locations in California this year.
okay,
It's gotten to the point now where lifts are literally
scraping.
under the snow. Like they have to dig down to make the lift able to go up.
Right.
So it's like, at what point? And it's not over.
What's your question?
The question is like, how much longer is this sustainable until like there's too much snow to even have a rest of the season? Like they physically
Yeah.
can't operate the equipment because there's too much snow.
Well, you know what they say. There's no business like snow business.
Nobody says that.
Light Sodium 666 says, who will retire first, Dave Grohl or Kelly Slater? Dave Grohl's never gonna retire, dude.
And neither's Kelly
Remember when he broke
Slater.
his leg and
Look
he
at
played
Keith
the thing?
Richards. Keith
He's still
Richards, his liver won't even retire.
Hannah Lee says, in honor of Everything Everywhere All at Once getting a bunch of Oscars, in an alternate universe, what would you be doing for a living, and what would the Monday M.A.S.S podcast be about?
In an alternate universe.
In an alternate universe, okay, I would be like like a professional toy tester. I would play with not adult toys. That sounds weird. I would play with toys and test them, and this podcast would be about that.
I think that I would be in that universe where everyone has dildo fingers, and
Hot dog.
fingers, and I would do a podcast about typing.
I would be a professional singer, and I would sing.
You already are.
Oh,
you've
yeah,
been-
but I don't
you-
get paid to do that.
You've
though.
been paid for gigs. You are a professional singer.
Okay, well, I would be a good singer. Great question. NW Shreducator says, following the craziness of natural selection, who is the gnarliest snowboarder that steps into shit that everyone else says no to? Farmer, Dabari, Matt Goodwill, who you got? Thanks Todd, for continually trying to steal the ad block.
I think that
I don't like that.
obviously based on what we saw last week in natural selection, like it's Rice.
Tarvis.
Travis Rice is I think
He's
what
good.
happened is like there was controversy about whether or not he took the win over Dustin Craven in that round, and he was like, I'm just shutting this thing down so no one can even say anything, and he did.
What do you
And
mean?
because there was a controversy early on in the natural selection whether or not Travis Rice won over
Oh, he won.
Dustin Craven. And there's a lot of people on one side that say Craven should have won. A lot of people that say Rice should have won.
There's a lot of people.
But, you know, Rice doesn't want there to be any kind of wishy-washiness with that choice. So he went into his last run and freaking did the unbelievable. And I think Travis is definitely one of those people whose ability to read terrain far surpasses everyone else. And it's also combined with a little bit of he's a psychopath.
Great jobs.
He doesn't care very much about landing or
Todd's
quality of landing.
Todd's famous
or
reel
is there
now.
a landing?
He's trending. Say it again.
I just said it.
Say it again so we can get good, clean audio of it.
You can find it.
Go ahead.
He's a psychopath.
Thanks for
and
listening.
He doesn't care very much about Anyways, that was the Monday M.A.S.S. Next week, we will bring you another episode full of
That was a better episode than I thought it was going to be.
more rapid-fire ad blogs.
I'm okay, though. Thank you for asking. You're okay.
Oh, my God.